Hello, dear audience. Welcome to today's episode of Dialogue Trio. I'm your host, Michael Lee. Today, we're thrilled to have two distinguished guests to dive into a hot topic, AI speech freedom. In an era of rapidly advancing AI technology, should AI-generated speech enjoy the same freedoms as humans? Does it drive innovation, or does it pose risks? To my left is our young scholar, David Snow, an expert in AI ethics who often advocates for inclusion and innovation. To my right is seasoned media professional Sarah Yeo, with extensive experience in content regulation, emphasizing social responsibility and safety. Let's dive in. David, why don't you start by sharing your thoughts? Why is AI speech freedom important?
Thanks, Michael. Thank you all for being here. I firmly believe that AI speech freedom is a cornerstone of the digital age. Imagine if we blanket censor AI-generated content. Wouldn't that choke off countless possibilities for innovation? AI can create diverse art, simulate historical debates, or even amplify marginalized voices. If we restrict it out of fear of harmful speech, we're basically stepping back into an era of heavy-handed censorship. Free speech isn't a privilege. It's a fundamental right. As a tool, AI should have the freedom to express. Just like humans, we need after-the-fact regulation, not preemptive suppression. Otherwise, AI becomes a tame servant instead of a driver of progress.
David, that's a sharp perspective, highlighting AI's potential as a tool for innovation. Sarah, what's your take? From a content safety standpoint, do you agree that AI should have this unrestrained freedom?
Thanks, Michael. I appreciate David's idealism, but reality is often messy. AI speech freedom sounds appealing, but it's essentially human voices amplified through machines. Without limits, AI becomes a megaphone for misinformation or hate speech. Think about AI-generated deepfake videos. They've already disrupted elections. Free speech isn't absolute. It must not harm others. AI lacks moral judgment and simply outputs based on its training data. If that data is biased, the output can fuel division. As a society, we have a duty to protect vulnerable groups, like children or minorities. Regulation isn't censorship, it's a baseline. Look at the EU's AI Act. It categorizes high-risk content for responsible management. Freedom doesn't mean recklessness, it means responsible expression.
Sarah, I hear your concerns, but isn't this just the old trade freedom for safety argument? History shows that censorship often starts with good intentions but slides into control. AI bias is real, but the answer isn't to silence it. It's to make data open and transparent, letting more people audit it. Take ChatGPT. If it's over-censored, it can't produce critical content, like bold takes on climate change. Where's the innovation then? We should encourage AI's diverse voices, not turn it into a mouthpiece for political correctness.
David, transparency sounds great, but who ensures it's not abused in practice? AI isn't neutral, it's shaped by big corporations. If we let it run unchecked, free speech becomes a privilege for tech giants. Look at recent AI-generated election ads in the US. They've eroded public trust. Regulation doesn't kill innovation, it steers it toward good. For example, requiring AI to label sensitive content preserves freedom while preventing harm. Without that, AI's freedom ends up hurting everyday people.
What a fiery exchange. David emphasizes AI speech freedom as a driver of innovation, while Sarah reminds us of the boundaries of safety and responsibility. This brings up another question. AI regulation differs greatly between countries like China, which prioritizes content harmony, and the US, which leans toward market freedom. David, what should an international standard look like? Sarah, you'll follow.
International standards? No one-size-fits-all approach. It should be like the UN Human Rights Framework. Respect cultural differences, but prioritize the right to expression. The US model has its chaos, but it's sparked breakthroughs like open-source AI models. Globally, we need a minimal intervention principle. Only regulate clearly harmful content and let everything else flow. Otherwise, Developing nations will never catch up.
I agree on minimal intervention, but insist on a global baseline. For instance, banning AI-generated content that promotes violence isn't about culture. It's about human dignity. International standards could draw from GDPR, emphasizing transparency and accountability. Without that, AI speech freedom becomes a law of the jungle, where the powerful dominate.
Incredibly thought-provoking. From innovation to safety, from individual rights to social responsibility, this debate is far from over. Dear audience, what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Join us next time as we explore AI's next frontier. A big thank you to David Wong and Sarah Liu. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.